Coming up tonight on the Fox 11 Sports Edge, it was a miracle comeback in the desert, only to have a letdown in overtime with Aaron Rodgers stuck on the sidelines. Hear from the Packers about their heartbreaking playoff loss in Arizona. And who will be back next season? We talk free agency and the growth of the young receiving corps. Finally, the Badgers with a chance to knock off Tom Izzo and his fourth-ranked Spartans in Madison. All of this happening right now on The Edge. Hello and welcome into the Fox 11 Sports Edge. I'm Josh Moser. The Packers coming so close to knocking off Arizona on the road, but instead they fall to the Cardinals for the second time this season, ending their playoff run in the divisional round. It was the miracle comeback down 7 with under 2 minutes to play. Aaron Rodgers airing it out as time expires. Jeff Janis, yes, that's right, Janis coming up with the biggest touchdown catch of his young career. Quarterbacks rarely ever complete a Hail Mary pass in the NFL. Rodgers does it twice in the same season. Janis securing it and hauling it in. But in overtime, Larry Fitzgerald just too much. Rodgers is stuck on the sidelines, and he's going to have to walk off without getting a chance to play when it mattered most in that extra time. Deja vu of 09, here's head coach Mike McCarthy.
It's tough to swallow. I thought that our team came in here. Preparation was excellent. I mean, just the energy and just the focus, and all the way through the team meeting this morning at the hotel, there wasn't a doubt in our mind we were going to win the football game. A lot of opportunities. Our guys fought right to the end. We know these games come down to big plays. Points are about making big plays, and Arizona made one more big play than we did.
So the Packers season coming to an abrupt end, leaving most of the players in shock. Randall Cobb's season, though, ending even sooner, knocked out of the game in the first quarter, leaving with a lung injury. So here again is the play where it happened. Cobb streaking down that far sideline, makes the amazing one-handed catch, but you see the cornerback fall on top of him, would result in a bruised lung. Can you believe that? Also bleeding from the mouth, eventually carted off the field and hospitalized overnight. But good news, Cobb taking to Twitter earlier today saying, quote, "Just got an update. I just got discharged from the hospital here in Arizona. I'm feeling much better. Thank you all for the prayers and support." Now, the Packers coaching staff always talking about having that next man up mentality. The players really taking it to heart, and we saw it in a lot of different position groups, the offensive line, and especially with that receiving core, losing Jordy Nelson right before the start of the year. You insert James Jones, and Devontae Adams and Cobb go down in the playoffs. So who is next? Next on tap, 2 second-year players in Jeff Janis and Jared Abbrederis. Janis, 2 catches on the season coming into the playoffs. He has 2 touchdown grabs in the biggest game of the year, and none more important than the one as time expired to send the game into overtime. Converting on the Hail Mary, Janis believing he's more than just the people's champ. He's now ready for an increased role next season.
I mean, everybody thinks that they can come in and play, Everybody wants to come in and show that they can play. So, like I said, I just knew I had to step up, and so I tried to do.
All right, Jared Abbrederis feeling the same way as Janis. He's ready for more opportunity. Former Badger preaching all year long about earning Aaron Rodgers' trust. Well, he's certainly done that. Arthur Smith goes one-on-one with Abby about the loss and next season.
Joining us now, Jared Abbrederis, and a great game for you, Jeff Janis. The young guys having to step up. Randall Cobb goes down, making the most of your opportunities, but in the end, it's still heartbreak.
Yeah, I mean, there's always, more stuff that you could have done that you wish, would have maybe could have changed the game here or there. But, it's a crazy game. That's why you play it. It's tough.
You felt that you guys were ready, especially these young guys, were ready for these challenges. You guys stepped up huge against the Cardinals. What does that kind of mean for your futures? You kind of go ahead, confidence building for you in particular.
Yeah, I mean, this year was, a crazy ride. So to kind of finish the year off, somewhat with some good plays and here and there, but there's always stuff to work on. But I guess that's what you have the off season for, to work on some of that. So, but confidence builder. Going in the next year will be good. But I mean, you know how it is. You gotta perform every day. So
such a swing of emotions for you guys. Can you even get a handle on or describe kind of the going into overtime and then suddenly it all falls out?
No, I mean that's football. It's ups and downs, and you have some good plays, bad plays. and there's some crazy finishes, and I mean it's wild.
Former Badger Jared Aberdaris, thanks, man.
All right, thank you, Drew. Here's a look at Aberdaris and Janis by the numbers. You see the difference in production from the regular to the postseason. The 2014 5th and 7th round draft picks playing well when they got their opportunities. Janis, of course, shining in the Arizona game with those 2 touchdown catches. These numbers a great indication of the growth of these 2 young receivers this season. And now that the season is over, free agency looms. Monday, there's a locker to be cleaned out. And for some, it may be the last time inside the Packers facility. Drew Smith explains the emotion behind the reality of the business for the players.
The end of the playoffs, an overtime loss to the Cardinals, means that the 2015 Packers season now comes to a close. All eyes turn toward next season, but it isn't with some sadness for these players because they know this particular team won't be all together again.
We know that. That's a part of this business. We know this group of guys will never be together again. We deal with it, and that's the business we're in.
I'm just really proud of these guys. I love being a Packer, and this is tough. It's 11 years in, everybody goes their own separate ways. That's a tough part of this business, but it's a reality.
With free agency on the horizon for more than a dozen players on the roster, change is inevitable. But this team is proud of what they were able to accomplish and fight through this season.
We definitely hit a lot of rough patches this year. Didn't do a great job responding sometime, a little bit there in the middle of the season. But overall, that made us a pretty strong group.
It's tough, man. It's always extremely tough to lose the last one. You don't get the same group back. You have friends that you lose, and it's tough. We're a tight bunch, so it hurts, and it hurts more and more every year.
Change may be the only constant in football, but that doesn't make it easy. I'm Drew Smith for Fox 11 Sports.
All right, thanks, Drew. Here now is the look at this year's upcoming free agents. A few notable names that need to be re-signed. You've got to start with Mason Crosby, one of the best kickers in the entire league. Didn't miss an extra point all season. John Kuhn, a Pro Bowler. LaTroy Guion, also a huge piece of that defensive line. Now, moving forward down the list, former first-round picks Nick Perry and B.J. Raji also becoming free agents. James Starks, a key piece as well. Could he be gone in favor of a younger back like John Crockett? We're curious to see what they do with Scott Tolzien after trading up to get Brett Hundley in last year's draft out of UCLA. So the Packers now must take a break, and so do we. It's time for our first time out here on The Edge. When we return, we fill you in on the rest of the NFL playoff picture, find out if Cam Newton can finally lead the Panthers into the conference championship round. Hello and welcome back to The Edge. I'm Josh Moser. Cam Newton carrying his Panthers team to an NFL best 15-1 record during the regular season. Now he looks to lead Carolina to a place he's never been before, the NFC Championship game. Seattle, their opponent, and here is your look at Newton in what has been an MVP-type year, and what a start he and his offense had in this one. Opening drive capped off by Jonathan Stewart, who's on his way to a Pro Bowl this season. Panthers on the board less than 3 minutes into this one. They had a 31-0 lead at the half, but Seattle continuing to chip away. In the fourth, Russell Wilson escaping and somehow finding Javon Curse. Seattle's back in it, down 10 with 6 to play. They would get it to 7, but would need an onside kick, much like in that NFC Championship game against the Packers. But they don't get it this time. Carolina hanging on 31-24. How about the AFC? Tom Brady already into the championship game. Peyton Manning trying to join him there, but first, his Broncos are going to have to get past Big Ben and the Steelers. And let's give some love to the kicker, Brandon McManus, 5 on the day. This one threw from 41 yards out to bring Denver back within 1 heading into the fourth quarter. So all the Steelers got to do is run out the clock and hold them. But it's Denver, the best defense in the league, forcing the turnover. All-Pro DeMarcus Ware recovering, and that's going to give the ball back to who else but Peyton Manning. Broncos turning the takeaway into points. Ronnie Hillman into the end zone. Denver advancing by the final of 23-16. So here is your conference championship bracket in the NFC. It's the Cardinals and Panthers next Sunday, and that's right here on Fox 11 starting at 5:40 p.m. And then in the AFC, New England and Denver. Brady versus Manning, 17th showdown all-time between these two legendary quarterbacks. The top seeds in both conferences only remain. Time for one more quick break here on The Edge. Have to pay some bills. But when we return, Michigan State on upset alert in Madison. We go to the college hardwood when we come back. The Wisconsin basketball team looks a whole lot different this season. No more Sam Decker, Frank Kaminsky, and no Bo Ryan. Now it's a young group led by interim head coach and longtime Ryan assistant Greg Gard. And this team still without a marquee win under their new frontman. A chance at one against fourth-ranked Michigan State, down 4 under 30 seconds to play. Bronson Koenig with a huge three that made it 76-75 Spartans. They're going to force a turnover and get the ball back, and it's Koenig underneath to Ethan Happ. Reverse? Yes, sir. Wisconsin's up 1. No timeout. Here come the Spartans. Denzel Valentine, the three for the win. No, it's going to be tipped. Matt Costello's going to have a chance. No. Wisconsin holding off the fourth best team in the country, 77-76 in a thriller at the Kohl Center.
Just pure joy, really. We've been on the wrong side of when Melo hit that three, and then we've had a couple tough losses in a row, and then to beat a good team like Michigan State, a tough team like Michigan State, it was really joyful to share that with my teammates.
I always thought that they were making steps in the right direction. It was a matter of continuing to be more consistent, to be able to continue to execute at a higher level what we've been working on.
We knew that if we want to win, we got to do it together, and I think we did that today.
One more break for us here. When we return, we look back at the best plays from the Packers in 2015. Welcome back to The Edge. Just some amazing finishes this year for the Packers, certainly ones that many will never forget. Now we take you back in only the way Aaron Rodgers can do it, in style. Loving that right there. We'll see you next time. I'm Josh Moser.